What's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Myself and Lee talking all things Arsenal. We've got a game tomorrow night. We're going to look back towards the Aston Villa and Emery situation, and then we're going to look forward to Club Brugge and some changes. That's going to be the name of the show. It's going to be a short one tonight because we both got commitments, so we thought we'd jump on for a quick half hour, 40 minutes, just to talk about things. Make sure you do me a favor. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. We're getting towards the next big target, so let's make sure that we get there together. Make sure that you're following 12th Man as well. I'll be on tonight, just on a show with Johnny Minerals, and just about to go watch the football after this. And then I'll be on again at 10 o'clock tonight after the football, talking Arsenal as well. Lee, how you doing, bruv?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. All considering, like, you know. It's been a funny old couple of days, isn't it? Like, you know, and what game are you watching tonight? What game are you gonna go
do you know what? I was gonna ask you that because there's a couple. What I might do is watch the goals show. So I see them all. I don't
know what one to watch tonight. I'm probably gonna go into Milan Liverpool. I think I'll go for that one night, you know what I mean? But
you got Atalanta, Chelsea, Tottenham and Prague. Inter Milan, Liverpool, Barcelona, Frankfurt, and Bayern Munich are playing at the moment against Sporting Lisbon. So there's some good ones tonight, to be fair.
Yeah, I see the Prague team last night at a hotel, like, and I was saying, I'm bigging them up. Come on, you can do this, boys. You can do it, like,
No, the English teams are doing well in this Champions League. I've got to be honest. A lot of the English, other than Liverpool, they're doing pretty well.
I think like they're all going to qualify. It's just you see if they can get into that top 8, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean? So
that's what matters. Is if can you get into the top 8 and qualify? It looks like we're going to be able to.
Yeah, I think Spurs will as well. You know, I know they're in 16th at the moment, but I think they've had a quite easiest sort of running this. You know what I mean? Like Copenhagen at home and a couple of easy games at home. You know what I mean? All right, they lost to PSG, but like that's the only game they've lost, by the way. So I think that they'll be in the top 8. You know what I mean? Newcastle got a good chance of top 8 as well. So it'd be interesting. Interesting what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
It will, mate. It absolutely will. Look, let's talk about how we felt at the weekend, how we feel now after the weekend, and what your thoughts were at the Raw reaction, because we didn't get to do much straight after.
No, we're sorry about that. I've been so busy like last couple of days, just been out all day yesterday, running around. So so sorry about that. Yeah, might be a good thing, because I'll tell you what, I ain't gonna lie, Dan. We spoke on a couple of messages. I was more down about the Chelsea game. You know what I mean? Because I think that was a definite missed opportunity. I think, like, looking at the Villa game, it's a tough game. You know what I mean? And I thought we might win it. Then when I see that there was no Saliba, listen. I know there's been a lot of a meltdown and crumble, but the people have been sending me the Arsenal crumble this week is incredible. Like, with one defeat in 18, but ultimately, when you go to places like Chelsea and Villa, and in both in form as well at the time, without your two main central defenders, and then you're having to swap a right back to a centre half, and it was tough. And so, in saying that, we didn't play well in the first half. That's my problem with it in the moment. I don't think we've played that well in all 3 games away from home, but when it was 0-0 at half time, that 20 minutes, Dan, from half time until we scored, we was absolutely scintillating, brilliant. Why can't we be like that all the time? I don't understand. That's my problem at the moment. I think we're a little bit too cautious away from home, and it's come and bit us 3 times now. So I'm hoping that Mikel will learn from that and just go for teams and listen, beat them up. You know what I mean? I think there was too much control. You look at the Sunderland game, I thought we was outstanding in the second half, and but we could have done that in the first half, but we was trying to be controlled. The Chelsea game, give them credit, but I don't think we played well that game. I don't think we done nothing really to win that game. I was very, very disappointed with that performance. And on the Villa game, I don't know how you feel about it. Like, it's a 90-minute game. We played for 20 minutes. You can't be doing that, mate. You've got to be doing more than that if you're gonna take big scalps at games like that, like, you know. And listen, Villa were outstanding on the day. Look back at the game, you know, they opened us up on far too many occasions. We looked a little bit tired, a little bit out of it at times. And I'm hoping now that there will be some sort of rotation in the next couple of games. Because if you think about it, we played Prague last game, didn't we? And I thought there'd be loads of changes in that, and there wasn't. So I'm hoping now. Look, we need one win to get through. You know what I mean? Like in the top 8. You know, with what's ever happened, we've qualified. You know what I mean? So you don't really want to go through that playoff stage. So we need to get one win. Let's take that win against Brugge, and then we can rest a little bit. But I want to see a little bit of rotation in this game. But ultimately, can't believe how many people have really been enjoying Arsenal losing the game. That tells you a lot, Dan. You know what I mean? Like that probably people didn't see us losing that many games. So what we've got to do now is prove mentality-wise, because I think there is a question mark. As I've seen a couple of your videos, and I totally agree with what you're saying. But you've got to go there now, get a great result against 3 things I'm looking for Arsenal now. A reaction against Wolves, going to Everton and winning, and then remembering what it was like to lose to Aston Villa when we take them on the 30th and really ram it home to them. That's what I'm looking for now to show us our mentality.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I'm at with it. You mentioned the word mentality. And people might say this is quite a negative thing to say because we're top of the league by 2, just shut up and get on with it. Everything's happy. But when I look at the 15 games we've played, there's only really been 5 games that have had any element of pressure on them. We haven't won any of them. That is a big, big issue. Now, I understand it's different pressure in January, December, August, September than it is in March, April, May. But the sort of pressure that we've been under is go and beat the champions at Anfield. Can't do it. Go and beat Man City. They're going to be in a title race with us. Can't do it. Go and beat Chelsea. We can go 9 points clear and get people like me and Curtis and Turkish believing that we're going to go win the league. Can't do it. Go and beat Sunderland. Yeah, we should be all right with that. That's not tough. That's not a pressure game. All it is now. Why is it a pressure game? Because Liverpool play Man City that weekend. Oh, yeah, we got to win now. There's pressure on that one. Can't beat them. And then we go to Aston Villa, who I must say are a very, very good side, an exceptional side. In fact, they've been excellent. They've been probably one of the best sides in the Premier League so far. And we can't beat them and pull away. So whether it's try and pull away, try and put on pressure, try and make a statement, try and beat your rivals, we haven't been able to do that, Lee. Now, that worries me going into March, April, May, if we are in a semi-final of a Champions League, or dare I say it, a domestic cup. And that's my big question mark. And if I'm honest with you, that isn't a new thing for me. I've been saying that for a long time, haven't I? Can we get across the line? And I don't know. It's worried me. That's all I'm saying.
And I agree with it to a certain degree. But what I will say is this. So there wasn't pressure on the first game of the season at Man United. I think there was. You know what I mean? That was a pressure game to get the result there. There was pressure on the game against Tottenham at home because we just drawn with a last-minute goal against Sunderland. Tottenham in the first game back after the international break, after losing Gabriel in the international break, smashed them. All right. Bayern Munich, I'm going to take that game into it, like, you know what I mean, unbeaten, like, you know, win and beat them. So I know you're not including that in the league games and all that, like, you know. But listen, Aston Villa, we lost to a last-minute goal. It could have gone either way. The meltdown has been incredible. When Man City lost to that, no one's saying nothing. It's just, oh, well, it's brushed aside. You know what I mean? They've gone to Newcastle and lost. They've gone to, as I said, like Villa and lost. So there's some tough games there, you know. But no one seems, you know, because of what's going on and all that. Like, and I get that. But also, I totally agree with you. Like, you know, we should have done better against City. Liverpool, you know, when you look at that Liverpool game there, that was a missed opportunity after what we've seen from them. But if you have a look at some of the teams that we played Crystal Palace at home when they was unbeaten after on a 20-game unbeaten run. Then no one remembers that. Like, we was the ones that stopped that. You know what I mean, and beat them. And they're up into 4th place now. I think that, you know, we beat them and they haven't lost that many since that game. Like, you know, we played Chelsea when they were 2nd. Now they've dropped down. We've now we're playing a more of an informed Everton when they come there. And I can guarantee you, Man United will probably be in the top 4 when we play them, you know. So we're playing teams that are, you know, Sunderland. When we played Sunderland, after they played us, Dan, right? When they played us, they was, I think, 3rd in the league. They're 9th now. When we played Chelsea, they were 2nd, they're 5th now. So these teams, it's taking a lot out of them to beat us. And that's what I'm taking a little bit of comfort from, you know what I mean? Or take points off of us. That would have took a lot out of Aston Villa, that game. I'm pretty sure it would have done. And we'll see how they react from it. But I don't think it's time for a meltdown at this moment in time. As I said, you know what I mean? Let's see what happens at Wolves. Let's see what happens against Everton. But I'm with you. If our Arsenal do not beat Everton, then it's time to be worrying, because we have got to get our away form right again, Dan. And it hasn't been right, mentality-wise or whatever. But it is difficult when you've got your best centre-halves out. You've got your best you haven't got a striker we haven't played for a few weeks. You know what I mean? Now we've got Gyökeres back. So I think at the end of the day, we've just got to be a little bit right. Let's just hold on a minute. Let's see what happens. We've got our players back. You know, we don't know what's happening with Saliba at this moment in time, and go from there. Like, but these injuries and all that, and I'm not making excuses about it. I see your comments about it. It's not saying that they're excuses. I'm not saying that they're excuses. What I'm saying is, when I found out that Saliba, I'm pretty confident going to Villa that we'd nick it. But when I see Saliba weren't there, I thought, oh well, I'll take a draw now. You know, we have to get one of them players back. Listen, I look at Nketiah and I thought Timber done okay, but they're just not at the level of them two. And I don't think we concede that goal in the last minute. A little bit of composure from Nketiah, and he controls the ball, puts it behind the fullbacks, and the game's over. But he lacks a little bit of composure, runs the ball out, and we're under pressure. And at the end of it, it's hard to watch. But that could have gone anywhere, that ball at that side. It could have been, it's just bounced lovely to him right at the end. And you need a little bit of luck in football as well, Dan. And so, as much as it was painful because it was the last minute, and boy, it just, you know, what's the annoying thing about it is we'd have just kept 6 points off of Villa as well. Like, do you know what I mean? They've just put them back in it now. And let's see how they deal with it, like, you know. But it was tough for us, and but we move on. That's the thing now. It's what happens now in the next 3 or 4 games. I think our next 4 games, Dan, 3 of them are at home. So we've got to make sure that there's no silliness in the next 4 games. Make sure that we win every one of them, defend a little bit better than what we have been, and take control of these games. And I mean, let the handbrake off Mikel. And I do think that is a slight little problem with him still going into these big games. You know what I mean? Let them play. Let them go. That 20 minutes was breathtaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It ain't enough. It ain't enough.
The problem I've got, Lee, right, is, look, Ryan made some great saves, to be fair to him. Defensively, I didn't actually think Arsenal were that bad. Jamie Carragher broke it down last night on Monday Night Football and said why they're not Gabriel and Saliba. But that's not really analysis. That's just saying that Arsenal without Gabriel and Saliba, and these are the two covering them, right? So I didn't really think that was much. I thought it was a bit weird, really, to kind of highlight that as, oh, well, he's not doing what Gabriel does, and he's not really doing what Saliba. Of course they're not. I mean, crikey, they're not going to, right? So you've got to look at that and say that defensively, Arsenal, I don't think we're a shambles at the weekend. I thought we were definitely nowhere near the level, but that's because Gabriel and Saliba are out. The midfield and attack was much more disappointing than the defence. Sorry, it was. Zubimendi and Rice are running on fumes, bruv. If I do see Declan Rice in either of these games, I'm going to be headbutt the javelin or something, because I tell you what, I need to see this geezer rested now. He cannot keep going. He's just going to kaput. He's going to. He didn't have a very great game, in my opinion. Zubimendi, I didn't think was a great either. And let's be real, Eze was a joke, if I'm honest with you. In attack, Marino probably was the worst player on the pitch alongside Eze. He came off. Gyökeres come on, probably was about as bad as Marino was. You know. Also, then you've got Saka, who I've got to be honest, I feel a bit sorry for. He still ain't quite right, mate. I ain't the Saka I'm used to watching. He's trying. He's by far the biggest threat we've got. Alongside Trossard this season, I think he's the only one that you can sort of say has been half decent. Trossard's been very good, to be fair to him, and came on and I thought changed the game for us going forward. Ødegaard picked it up in the second half, but in the first half was abysmal. So Martin Keown, bless him, give him man of the match. I don't know what game he was watching, but Yuri Tielemans and most of their midfield completely dominated.
Yeah, Tielemans was man of the match.
Tielemans was easily player of the match for me. Morgan Rogers, superb. I'd love to sign him. And McGinn, very good player. Buendia, come on, with depth. Boubacar Kamara and Onana, very good. Their midfield was excellent. Ours got dominated and bossed off the park, which is worrying, to be fair. What is going on with our attack? Because I don't think this season it has quite been at the races. There's been real moments. You've mentioned some of them earlier. Tottenham, Bayern Munich. We played really well. Atletico Madrid was another one. I thought, here we go. This is incredible. But I haven't felt like that in every game. And sometimes you're not going to feel like in every game in terms of scoring, but you might feel like, oh, our attack was there, but just didn't have the shooting boots on. I don't feel like the attack has been there, to be honest. And there's definitely a problem with us going forward at the moment. And the Gyökeres thing, I don't really know why they're bringing it up now again, because he had a half and he was bad, but he had a half previously before he was injured. He was brilliant. And everyone was like, oh, maybe he's the answer. No, he's not again now because he's had a bad 45 minutes. But I've got to say, I'm concerned. I'm just concerned about all of our attack, not just one player. I'm kind of concerned. I don't think it quite looks right. And I said to I've spoken to so many people, I've said to a few people, we're relying a lot on our defence, which is great. If your defence goes kaput, you've got to look at that attack and go, are you going to help the defence out now? And the answer is no, we're not going to. And that's what's going to let us down. If we, we've got to get Gary Saliba back, but we've also got to pick this attack up because I'm not quite sure it's quite there at the moment, Lee.
No, listen, I think we're the second highest goal scorers, but I don't think our attack is anywhere near good enough to win the league away from home. There's a difference between playing at home. We don't look dangerous. We don't look that great going forward. Every time on Saturday, it broke down, whether it be not so much on Saka, but when he come off, and I agree with you, he's not the Saka of old at the moment. I don't want to see him until Everton away, by the way. He's another one. But when he come off, it just kept breaking down, like, and I blame Gyökeres for a little bit. I thought Madueke, by the way, is getting away with it. I thought he was absolutely awful when he came on.
Yeah, so bad.
Absolutely awful. And then the cross from Declan Rice, and for him and Gyökeres not to be even on that is, a joke in its own right. But so you got a performances there. I'm not been happy with a couple of things of certain players walking back in the team and not performing. Like, I think Madueke done very, very well the week before, but you've got players like Wanyeri that's been on the bench, waiting for his time, and he hasn't done bad when he's come on, being bypassed, and then performances like Madueke's, Eze's on the weekend, just not good enough. Just not good enough, particularly away from home. And it'd be interesting what he does from now on. Listen, the Odegaard, I love Martin Keown. He's a great guy. You've met him a few times as well. You know what he's like. He's a good guy. He's very Arsenal. But at the end of the day, I thought Odegaard done okay. He weren't great. He was, but as I keep saying,
not the first half.
Yeah, but you can go about all of them in the first half. It was like, but he done all right in the second half and was okay. But okay is not good enough if you want to win leagues now. It's as simple as that. Like, you look on that there, he gets a lot of sick. Eze kept slipping over, didn't do anything in that first half, and quite rightly got hooked. At the end of the day, either you pull your finger out, Eze, because you're not going to play in the 10 unless it's at home. You've got to produce a lot better than what you do in those performances away from home. It was shocking, as you say, Mourinho, you can go, well, maybe he was a little bit jaded, and I'll give him a pass because he's been outstanding for us in the last few games. but not good enough. So Declan Rice, I thought worked hard, but you could see that he'd physically gone. Zubimendi looked like all the games are caught up on him as well. So this is now where Mikel has to come in and manage it really, really well. And I'm telling you that now, if Saka plays against Wolves and Rice plays against Wolves, we are in trouble long term. Because you have got to believe in this squad now. Like Mark Norgard plays the next 2 games, whatever happens, and so does Madueke. And this is where I'm afraid now you spend a lot of money on Madueke. This is where you come in and earn your price tag and your money, because these are the games that matter. Get Gyökeres up front, get get Martinelli playing down the left-hand side, and this is what you need to do now. These guys need to start performing. I don't think Martinelli has come back and been anything near where he should be, so he needs to perform. Gyökeres, I thought, was abysmal on Saturday, and I'm not worried about him not having the chances and all that, but a hold-up play, you got to be big and strong. It was like candy from a baby, kept coming off of him, and it weren't good enough. But I will say, right, that's the first time, he's just coming back from injury. No more excuses now. You've had 10 minutes, 45 minutes, 5 minutes. You must be bang on from it now on, And I think Trossard's going to be injured for another couple of weeks, These players keep coming back and getting injured again. What is going on? What is going on there? All scans and everything like that, something's not right with our medical staff. That needs to be sorted out as well, And, for me, I don't want to see Trossard for the next couple of games. I don't want to see Declan Rice for the next time. I want to see Declan Rice, Saka, Trossard is at Everton away, and I'll be like you annoyed if they are playing any part of that Bruges game. If we're 3-0 up against Bruges and he's bringing him on, I'm going to do my nuts. Right? If he brings them on, I want him on the bench against Wolves. Right, but if we're winning that game, I don't want them coming on to see it out or anything like that. Then we've got a week off. Zubimendi comes back in on the weekend, and then we've got a week where we haven't got a game, you know what I mean? So we can have 7 days. So I have a nice couple of days break after the Wolves game Saturday night. I give them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off, whatever. Come back and do a little bit of training, and we go hard at Everton, and then we know what we are. These next 2 or 3 weeks over Christmas, this is where Mikel's got to earn his money, earn his corn down. He's got to earn his money, and he's got to. This is where it is for me. And if he doesn't, then I can see why people are be having the knives out. Personally, I think he will do it, and and we need Gabriel back. Listen. We always know we was going to miss Gabriel. 1 or 2 games, we was always going to be all right. It's now 3, 4, 5, and this is where it's starting to matter now. We don't look dangerous at set pieces at the moment, so we're going to have to get him back. But listen, he ain't going to be about until in the new year. You know what I mean? So we've got to get these players back and quickly. And just one thing, maybe against Bruges, can we just tinker with it a little bit? Let's see what Ben White's like at centre half and Timber at right. When you've got all these players out at the moment, I think maybe just keep the fullbacks as they were. I'm not criticising Mikel for that, because I would have done exactly the same. But Ben White's played centre half before. Let him see if he can do it for a couple of games.
Look, you make some good points. I actually agree with Aaron in the chat. Big up to Aaron saying, why are you bringing on Gabriel in a League Cup game against Port Vale?
Well, there you go.
Those are the sort of things we don't need. Saliba, nowhere to be seen again in training. We might be fit, might be not. Well, what's he done? What the hell has Saliba actually done? I didn't know what Gyökeres had done. I don't know what Saliba has done.
Keeping it very quiet, Dan, which is a worry.
Very quiet. That's worrying for me. Mosquera, should be all right. I would keep it quiet. Actually, he's out for 8 weeks. What are these guys doing in training? I have no idea how these people just keep coming down and collapsing with these muscle injuries. You break your leg, it's unlucky. You do an ACL, it is very unlucky. I've got a muscle injury few weeks, muscle injury 3 weeks. Is the training too intense? Does Arteta get him to run to every single ball and play like it's a game? If he does, I might have to stop that, because we're getting these players falling down. And I can't be dealing with seeing that, if I'm honest with you. The attack thing, the reason I bring it up is because I've seen this guy now, Mikel Arteta, try everything up top. And I need my striker to score goals. I'm sorry, I need a guy. We don't have one, do we, really? You know what I mean? If I said to you now, who's the one? Quick go, you'd be, Saka. Well, no, really, sometimes it's Saka. Trossard at the moment, yeah. Oh, yeah, but he's sometimes, people wanted him to go. We ain't got that. We don't have a Haaland. We don't have a Salah. I know that's a different story, but Salah for 7 years. Don't have a Cole Palmer. Unfortunately, we need one. Saka should be the guy, but we haven't been able to have it. And we've kind of tried all of them, to be fair. Yeah, we started with Aubameyang, we had Lacazette, Eddie Nketiah, then Jesus came, then Kai Havertz has came. Now we've got Victor Gyökeres. I need one of these. I need to hold it down. Otherwise, if they can't do it, I'm going to start going, what's wrong with the manager? Why can't the manager get any of those guys scoring goals? That is a big question mark for me. And it always has been. And the other question mark has been, can we get it across the line? Everything else, Mikel Arteta is pretty much sorted now, other than overplaying people and, not resting players. So there's not much more I need Mikel to do other than the obvious, yeah? But I look at it and I worry, Lee, because I see some of the same stuff happening. Declan Rice is going to be the next Bukayo Saka if we're not careful. He will have a grade 3 and he will be not the same player. Because I'm seeing this guy and I'm thinking, does he think he's invincible then? Because he needs a rest, this geezer. He cannot keep playing. Zubimendi likewise. So you're right about Timber as well. Timber's another one I worry about because he's playing an unbelievable amount of games. Saka, you're right to mention. I don't want to see these guys coming in. So I was worried at the weekend with what I saw from us going forward. Hopefully we can put that right. And I think Club Brugge, personally, and Wolves is a great opportunity to rotate in both of those games. Wolves were an absolute disaster last night against Man United, and that was at their place. 4-1. Absolute shambles of a team right now. If we can't beat there with a rotated squad, we don't deserve to win the league. We definitely haven't got the strongest squad like everyone says. And the same with Club Brugge. So I wanted to ask you going into that game, because I know we don't have long, about what you think the team might look like in this Club Brugge game tomorrow night. And I've put up what I think might be similar to, but I want you to be honest if you don't believe that this is what you would go with or what you think you might go with. So what are you saying to this 11? And get involved in the chat as well, people.
Right, what have you got there? Because I can't quite actually.
Oh, sorry, I'll read it out. You've got David Raya in goal, Ben White at right back, Julian Timber and Nketiah as centre-back pairings. That's if Saliba is still out, which we believe he might be. Lewis-Skelly left back. And then in midfield, Norgard, Eza and Odegaard. And then Madueke, Martinelli and Gyökeres.
Yeah, well, for me, I'm going to change. I'm going to go Kepa in goal. I'm going to give a Raya a break there. I'm swapping over Ben White with Timber, but like that the same back four. I'm bringing in Calafiori because he's suspended against.
Yeah, I did think about doing that.
And I'm putting Miles Lewis-Skelly in midfield. I want to see him in midfield.
Good shout.
I want to see him in midfield. So for me, I'm going to go a completely different midfield to that. I'm going to go Norgard in there, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and I'm going to keep Odegaard in because you've got to have something in there, like, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm going to do with that. Front three, Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Madueke. If not Madueke, Wanyeri. I would like to see Wanyeri start. You know, I don't see how you can justify Madueke playing after that performance.
Okay, so you're going Kepa, Timber, White, Nketiah, Calafiori. Your midfield would be what? Norgard and
Miles Lewis-Skelly.
And Miles Lewis-Skelly instead of Eze, yeah?
Yeah. Eze can't play after that performance. Dan.
No, he was awful.
I'm sorry, like, he needs to be
awful. Odegaard starts though for you, yeah? Odegaard starts for you though, yeah?
Yeah, I just feel like, you know, I mean, you can play Eze in there if you want, like, but I feel that you just got to have a little bit of more something in there, like something.
Well, I think Odegaard needs minutes, to be fair to him.
So and he needs a few minutes. Like, you know,
and then your front three, what did you say your front three would be?
Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Madueke. But I wouldn't be disappointed if Wanyeri starts here.
Okay, so this is your team. Kepa, Timber, White, Nketiah, Calafiori, Norgard, Lewis-Skelly, Odegaard, Madueke, Martinelli, Gyökeres. I actually really like that team, and I'll tell you why I like that team, because Lewis-Skelly is in midfield in a box-to-box 8. That's why I like
we haven't got nothing in this team, nothing in this squad anywhere near Declan Rice. So let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can do it. Why not try it against Bruges? It's a safety. You got the safety net. It's not, a must-win game. I'd like to see it. And if he does really well in here, play him against Wolves as well.
Yeah. Look, I think he's.
Well, no, you can't play him against Wolves because you've got to have him back at left back, haven't you?
At left back, yeah. But I know what you mean, though.
Then you bring him back Zubimendi in that position.
Yeah, he has to play in midfield, bro. He has to play in midfield. He's the only player that can come in and do what Declan Rice does. Now, he's not going to do it anywhere near that level, but he is going to have the legs of Declan Rice. He's going to have the athleticism. Exactly. Marino don't have that, bruv. Yeah. Ethan Nwaneri's a little bit too attacking. As much as I think Ethan probably would like to play in this game and probably should deserve minutes in this game, I don't think that he will be given them. And I actually do think that he will put Lewis-Skelly at left back. But he should really play Calafiori because he's out. So he should really play Calafiori at left back. Does that mean Lewis-Skelly doesn't get a game, though? So it will be really interesting, actually, tomorrow night to see if he does finally go with Lewis-Skelly in midfield because he's not had the best of seseason so far, Lee. I think
he needs something. He needs something to just spark him off. I don't know, you know what I mean? It'd be interesting. But see, the thing is, if you play Miles Lewis-Skelly and he gets injured, who'd you play at left back in the next game? You know what I mean? That's your problem.
Well, you're gonna have to play bloody Nkapie and then put Ben White and Timber and someone else in there. It's hopefully Saliba's back for Wolves. I don't know. He didn't train today. He needed Rice or Trossard. So it sounds like Rice, Trossard, and Saliba ain't going to be a part of this. But then, of course, we go to Wolves. And then what do we do for Wolves? Do we stick with this or what do we do for Wolves?
Wolves, this would be my team for Wolves. Would be Raya in goal, Ben White, Timber,
Nkapie,
and Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
Midfield, Norgard, Zubimendi, Odegaard up front, Madueke again, Gyökeres, Martinelli.
Okay, so fairly similar, but you'd bring in. But I actually think Raya will play tomorrow night.
I do. I think he will. But you've got to give this kid some minutes somewhere along the line, and I think it's an opportunity to do it tomorrow, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
we'll have I'm not
a fan of Kepa. I know some people are. I don't trust him, but some people do. So, but yeah, I think for me that's what we got to do is rotate now, and we've got to make sure that we're in a position where we can actually try and get some of these players back to their best. Now, the injury thing as well is a separate worry. Let's just be honest. But whilst we've got these players that are fit, we're going to have to be in a position to be careful with them, And I think Rice, we've got to be careful with. Xhaka, careful with. Timber, careful with. Gabriel and Saliba, no doubt, we've got to be careful with. But I kind of thought he'd already learned his lesson from that. But Gabriel has gone down again. Look, I don't know what your thoughts are, and I'll ask you this lastly. Odegaard and Havertz are going to both start for us, aren't
they? Well, Odegaard is, you know what I mean? That was always going to happen. I said that, you know what I mean? He's his main man and all that. Listen, Havertz will start games. I do believe he will start games up front. I don't think we lose that game on Saturday if Havertz starts and he's fully fit because he would have held the ball up a little bit better than Gyökeres. I don't think, there's no goal scoring threat because there wasn't none from Gyökeres, but he would hold that ball up a little bit better, Listen, he's going to get Havertz in, whether it's left back. I think he has played left back on a couple of occasions, he's played wide left. There will be a position for him in the team. But for the next few weeks, Donna, you haven't got to worry. He will be on the bench getting minutes to come back. But it will definitely happen, But and I've said it all along. Big games, and I mean big games. Havertz will start. The games like Wolves, Brighton, Gyökeres will start. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Look, I don't mind Kai Havertz being a part of the squad and being contributing. I just don't want to be seeing him and Odegaard coming into the side when Marino and Eza have actually done something for us. Now, Odegaard, I don't think has contributed. I can't remember the last time he did, to be honest. It's been lost that long. He's not been good. I understand him because he's the captain and it's not a shock to me. If Havertz is coming in and he's coming on and he's starting some games, I've actually not got a problem with that, Lee. What I don't want to see is him starting every game and we're not seeing the other players get the chance. And I also don't want to be seeing him playing in midfield, because when we play him in midfield, we don't win anything, mate, as we saw last season. So I need to see Havertz be a part of this side, not a main key player, because when we make him a main key player, we don't get across the line.
Well, I'll go. Odegaard's contribution so far as Newcastle away when he came on as a cameo, that was a good thing. But he needs to get better.
Yeah.
And you know, otherwise there will be calls for him not to play. What, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, I totally agree with you, Dan. Like, you know what I mean? So for me, I think he's got it's a big couple of weeks for Odegaard. Like, you know, he needs to do it. I'm not worried about Havertz at the moment. He's got to get minutes. You know what I mean? Let's see when he comes back first and foremost.
Yeah.
And when he does, he's been out for nearly a year. So I expect him to come off the bench and contribute for the next 4 or 5 games. That's what I would suspect. Then after New Year, let's see where we go with him. Like, you know, but make no mistake, Havertz will play. So will Odegaard.
I agree. I don't know if this is a chance for Ethan Waneri really as well, because Odegaard ain't putting up trees and Eze was absolutely horrific the other day. So is there a chance that Ethan might deserve more minutes? Maybe there is. We'll have to see. But look, we're going to end it there, people, because we both got commitments tonight. But thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. Make sure you hit like and make sure you hit subscribe. I'll be on at 10 o'clock tonight on Football's 12th Man with an Arsenal panel. So make sure you come and show some love over there. Enjoy the football, whatever game you watch. And Lee, I'll leave it to you to say bye to everyone, mate.
Yeah, game tomorrow, Brugge away. Let's get the win. And hopefully we'll be in a slightly better mood going into the weekend. Take care, everybody.